Hello again, and this is the People Pleaser Support Group where we hold space for each other's healing journey in a way that honors our lived experiences and encourages our recovery. My name is Tina Rose, and I am a recovering people pleaser. Today, I want to talk about another current event in the world of Tina, hoping that it will resonate um, with those who are meant to see it. And it could be a touchy subject, so I'm going to just stay hopefully steadfast to pointing out what I did and what um, happened in my experience. And I'm not going to project it on anyone else. And the reason I say that is because I was a people pleaser from my childhood trauma. It was a people pleasing strategy that I developed to feel safe and actually survive in my little world. I was parentally challenged. I'll go ahead and spit it out there. And I feel like I can't be the only one, but this is the vantage point that I'm going to talk to it, speak to it from. And specifically, my amazing daughter, Sarah, she is incredible. She has been my biggest teacher in how to be a better communicator. Um, if anyone is familiar with the Indigo movement, the Indigo children, my daughter's an Indigo, and she is here to help change the way the world communicates, basically. And I've seen it from day one. Um, and now, one of my goals, because one of my goals for most of her life has been to heal our relationship and for me to become a better communicator. I really try to tune in and pay attention to what she is mirroring to me or what she is literally giving me feedback about. And so what happened yesterday was um, I was playing with my dog in the living room, and I just started making this high-pitched little fun sound, but it was high-pitched. But it was doing it somewhat loud. And she was behind me in the kitchen, and she said, "Mom, would you please not do that? That doesn't feel good for me." And this is because has always been hypersensitive to sound. I could tell you examples, just trust me on that. I mean, she could hear a squash bug walking on the hardwood floor across the room. That literally happened. But lots of other things. I mean, she can't, you know, she has an autism diagnosis, but she can't go to sports events like a basketball game. Yeah, too much. Even if she wears the sound reducing headphones, it's too much. But things like that, a loud room where people are laughing and joking, she can't take it. But anyway, so I wanted to honor her request to not make that sound anymore. And I was going to, but just because I forgot, it caught me off guard. And I said, okay, I was just having fun. And we were on our way out the door. Basically, so about 10 minutes later, we were in the car, and we have had some of our best healing conversations in the car. And this was one of them. And this type of conversation has come up many times between me and her, where I had said something, and she confronts me about it because we candidly have agreed for years now that we want to heal our relationship. And I talked to her about all the things where, from my childhood trauma that I'm trying to heal and that I want to be able to communicate. So she brings it up in the car, and she said, um, Mama, when I said such and such, and uh, back in the kitchen, when you were making that loud noise, why did you say, um, oh, no, she didn't say that. She said, when you said that you were just having fun, it just felt like you were minimizing my feelings. And she said those words. I mean, this child is amazing. And so right away, we've had this type of conversation so many times, and I have not said the right thing, but this time I went into it and I said a silent prayer as I was driving, looking at the road. And I could see her in my peripheral vision. She was looking at me, waiting for my response. Seriously. And so to myself, I said a prayer to help me do it right this time. Help me to have the right response. And so what I said was, after a minute or so, she gave me time. It was a quiet space. I said, I think it would have been better if I had said, okay, I understand. I'll start making that sound when you're not here, for example. I'm pretty sure that's basically what I said. And she was like, yeah, that would have felt better. And that was the end of the conversation. She was not upset anymore. And while she was telling me about that and how it bothered her, it sincerely did. And the tears welled up in her eyes because she too has developed sensitivities to being minimized, her needs and feelings being minimized, because that was all the only way that her dad and I knew how to communicate through our injured communication style. I mean, we just weren't regulated. We did the best we could, but it wasn't enough. And now she's healing from those types of wounds. Um, and that was in the story. And I'm probably going to have at least a few more times where I just saw 22:22 on the clock, on the counter. I'm probably going to have more times where I have to um, drill down deeply and make sure that I've got this and that I respond correctly every time. Or I learn not to do it to begin with. And so, I mean, we minimize our children's feelings and needs so quickly because it was done to us, but we don't even realize it. I mean, the big blatant things I made a point to not do, but these little things like that, the communication style, the words, just, and before you even know it, the damage is done. But it will be things like when she would express her feelings. It's like we didn't know we were doing it, but we were trying to fix her feelings and give her advice instead of really just listening and validating that she had a right to feel that way. Um, and a lot of times I would gaslight her, not knowing it, right? Because I would have said something earlier that I didn't really remember, exact words that I said, but she brings it back up and explaining it in a way of how she felt. And I would go, well, I don't remember saying that. And so I would gaslight her, and I really wouldn't understand. And I'd say, well, you're remembering wrong. I didn't say that. It's just another way. I would overpraise her for everything. That was one of my big people pleasing strategies. Um, and I could tell early on, even when she was like adolescent, that she was just tired of me saying things. Yeah, it was obvious in her energy, and I kind of learned to back off of that. And I, read books about it, and that kind of thing. And so some of the things that we can say in this situation, something like I said to that current event from yesterday, would be, that makes sense that you feel that way. Instead of me trying to explain, okay, well, this is why I said it, I didn't mean anything by it. Just, so that makes sense that you would feel that way. I am here. Tell me more. These are things that I'm going to try to remember to say in the future. I might even put this on my refrigerator. um, Another thing I could say is your feelings matter. Even if I don't understand yet, I want to understand. You're not wrong when they ask for help. You're not wrong for needing help. You're not wrong for asking for help. So I hope that these things help. This little example, and I bless you and wish you a good day. And we love you. Blessed be.